Pride is a time for gathering. The streets are packed, the bars are packed, the parade is packed, and of course, the bathhouses are, you guessed it, packed. So it's time to take a refresher course and update our bathhouse etiquette to bring it up to speed for Pride 2024. Because things move fast, and so do you, or so I've heard. In this video, we look at handling the crowds, navigating party favors, bringing awareness around gender diversity, and of course the different ways to take care of your sexual health. And helping me out today are my buddies Windom and Anthony. And a huge shout out to Steamworks Toronto for lending their club to film this important episode. We have a lot of things to cover, so let's go! This video is obviously a PG episode for YouTube, but after we shot this one, we kept the cameras rolling and things got super spicy between myself, Windom, and Anthony. That's an uncensored video on my OnlyFans page, linked through my website, found below. Trust me, it's hot! Alright, the first thing that you're gonna notice at Pride is the crowds. No matter where you go, you are gonna have to face them, and the bathhouse is no exception. Now at first you might think, oh good, more people means more options to choose from, right? Well, it's not exactly that simple, so let's start at the beginning. The first thing you'll have to do is plan ahead and leave extra time for that lineup. For example, if you want to be inside at, say, 9 p.m., don't show up at 8:45 expecting your favorite corner suite to be available, because it won't be. You'll need to be patient and wait your turn. Once you get to the front, they're going to tell you exactly the room and locker situation. And this is where you're gonna need to be flexible. They cannot magic a room out of nowhere or kick people out of the place just for you. So at the beginning, you're gonna have to take what you can get, and that's probably gonna be a locker and a spot on the waiting list. I know it's not ideal, but remember to smile and be polite. It is not their fault that everyone is looking to get all at the same time. It's also helpful to keep your FOMO in check. I know you want to get in there as soon as possible because you think you're missing out on all the best stuff, but trust me, it is a revolving door. The fun comes and goes and comes again. Okay, now you've made it inside the bathhouse and you found your locker. Start to get more comfortable. Trust me, I know it's easy at this point to get overexcited. My suggestion though, since you're probably on a waiting list for the room anyway, take your time. I understand the urgency, there's men everywhere, you want to jump in, but there's no rush. Give yourself some time to acclimatize to the environment. Listen to the music. Smell the poppers wafting through the air, or the chlorine from the jacuzzi. Watch some video playing porn. All of these things are going to help you get into the mood and set the scene for a perfect night. Now, once you've settled in your locker, it's time to scope out the scene. Every crowd is different, every bathhouse is different, and depending on the time of day, the vibe is gonna change too. So get in there, get an idea of the vibe of what's going on. Is it social? Is it dark and moody? Here is a mistake that I see people doing all the time. Especially when the bathhouse is crowded, like at Pride, people are in search of greener grass. We're all worried that if we settle for the guy who's interested in us, we'll miss out on an even hotter one while we're distracted by this one. Because with so many options to choose from, instead of finding someone you like, you think, hey, he's okay, but maybe there's better. So you pass up the opportunity with one in search of another. But I'll let you in on a little secret, because this is what happens most of the time. A whole lot of nothing. Not only did you pass up a perfectly good time with someone who might not give you the time of day afterwards, now that you've kind of rejected them, but you never found the greener grass, and now you're walking in circles desperately seeking Susan. I'm not saying settle for whatever comes your way. I'm saying be smart about a good time with somebody who's interested in you versus chasing something that doesn't exist, or worse, isn't even interested. And hey, if you're enjoying this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done that already so you don't miss a thing. This video is not about encouraging drug use. I am just stating what is out there, and I want you to be aware so you are better prepared. I am certainly not judging these behaviors. I am speaking from experience and passing that knowledge on to you so you will be prepared for this coming Pride. We are going to focus on two popular drugs that find their way into bathhouses. One is meth and the other is GHB. Meth, if you don't know, can be snorted or smoked or injected. It'll make the user alert and horny. It drops their inhibitions. Of course, overuse leads to no sleep, no eating, making the person act erratically, hallucinating, and even talking to themselves. GHB is a clear liquid. It's usually mixed in water or juice to mask the absolutely disgusting taste. The effect is like a drunken type of horniness. Again, inhibitions go out the window. The user feels a little euphoric. That is until they do too much, which is easy to do. Then suddenly there's vomiting and passing out. Overdosing on G is easy to do because dosing is so hard to gauge. A few things to remember about drugs at the bathhouse. Number one, do not accept drugs from people you do not know, especially drinks. Number two, if you see somebody is struggling to stand up, to keep their eyes open, they're slurring, they're otherwise in a super vulnerable state, do not take advantage of that person in any form or fashion. Number three, do not judge somebody if they offer you something. You don't know what their story is, you don't know who they are, you're no saint either. Just say no and walk away. You don't gotta make a big scene about it, okay? It's 2024, folks, and although the two models in this video are cis gay men who just happen to have been free the day we were filming this, they absolutely do not represent the diversity that actually exists out there. With more and more bathhouses opening their doors to gender diverse folks, expectations and behaviors need to catch up. Now, if you find yourself part of a gender diverse night, here are some things to keep in mind. Number one, be respectful. As on any night, it's your body and it's your choice. And as on any night, if you're not interested, be polite and move on. But everyone has a right to exist, to be there, and to enjoy the bathhouse. Number two, do not make assumptions. Things are not always as they appear. Do not make assumptions as to somebody's gender, their sexual preferences, or their sexual practices. Number three, learn how to talk to folks. This is the best way to give and receive the information that you need to make the next move. Have an open and honest dialogue. You just might learn something. The way we relate to each other at the bathhouse has also changed. Gone are the days where you could just go around squeezing, grabbing, and touching whoever you wanted to. Unless, I suppose, you're in the dark room. So, in order to respect people's bodies, make sure not to grab, squeeze, tug, pinch, kiss, or lick anyone without their permission. We all know the difference of when someone is into it, like when their hands and mouth are all over your body, and when they're not, like when they don't even know that you're standing behind them. Respect people's personal space. I can speak from experience that a drive-by honking of my has never once led to me being naked in bed with that person. Another thing you might notice during Pride at the bathhouse is the increased number of people from outside the city, the province, the state, the country. This new mix of people bring with it a few things to consider. Number one, these folks tend to be a little more chatty. They're excited to be in a new town and open to meet new people. Number two, they will not know their way around. If your bathhouse is a bit mazy, which most of them are, these tourists will get lost easily. So what you can do is offer them a hand, and you just might get a hand job in return. Oh, waka waka. Okay, I'm gonna cut that out. Number three, they might not speak the language. This has happened more than one time with me, and to be honest, it forces you to get creative and lends to some really great times. Number four, in these divided times, please be respectful of all cultures and ethnicities. You don't know these folks, so no judging on preconceived notions, biases, or prejudices. Luckily these days, we have options. So many great options. When I get comments from people saying, I don't go to bathhouses because I don't want to get AIDS. That's how they sound, actually, in real life. But that is telling me more about them and their inability to inform themselves about all of the options that are available to protect themselves and others. But to be honest, in a way, they're right, because ignorance will not protect you from getting a disease, so they should stay home. Period. These days, if you are negative, you have the option of taking PrEP, a daily pill which is 99% effective in preventing HIV. These days, if you're HIV positive and you're undetectable, that means you're also untransmittable, or U equals U, and you cannot pass the virus on to another person. Let's recap. A negative person on PrEP sleeps with an undetectable person. Can they contract HIV? No! How about a negative person not on PrEP who sleeps with an undetectable person? Can they contract HIV? No! PrEP is an extra barrier of protection that people should be taking because it's up to you. It's your job to look after your own sexual health. Do not rely on other people to take care of your sexual health. And of course, if you're concerned about STIs like chlamydia and gonorrhea, etc., slap on a condom. And anyone who is sexually active with multiple partners should get tested every 3 months. Stay on top of your sexual health, know your status, take your pills, and be informed. End of. Now, one thing I think that we forget about sometimes is that sex is supposed to be enjoyable. We tend to overthink, we get nervous, we're shy, self-conscious, we make assumptions about others that aren't even true, we tell ourselves stories about how we're not good enough, we base too much of our self-worth on our exterior appearance, and we place too much power in other people's hands. You are here. You are alive, and that is a beautiful thing. Open yourself up to the possibility that you are fucking awesome, that you deserve the best, and that no matter what happens, you're gonna have fun at the fucking bathhouse this Pride. Yeah, it's unpredictable, but that's the exciting thing about it. Go with the flow. Strike up a conversation. Relax in the jacuzzi. Smile at a stranger. Because at the end of the day, none of it matters. It's not supposed to be serious, and you are in charge of everything. Thank you for watching. Though meant to be educational and fun, the types of videos that I make have advertisers running. They don't want to put their brands next to a channel like this one, but it's content that matters to us, and I'm going to keep bringing it week after week. That's also why your support is needed to keep this channel going. By becoming a patron, you get perks like advanced access to episodes, behind-the-scenes content, and monthly video chats with moi. What could be better? With 4 tiers to choose from, there is a perfect fit for everyone. Just go to patrickmarano.com for all the ways in which you can support. And for a deeper dive, why not sign up for my newsletter? It's absolutely free and full of discounts on fun stuff for you to enjoy. For all the ways that you can support, just go to patrickmarano.com, linked in the description below. And I will see you in the next video. Mwah.